Guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Claiborne. So hopefully you can hear me over the wind. Things are starting to die down now, but we did have a pretty vicious storm last night. We got 1.5 inches of rain. Yay for water. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about some of my water woes. So 3 years ago when we first moved here, we found that there was a well on the property. However, everyone we have talked to, well, I should say every well digger we have talked to has told us that it's basically better to just scrap that well and just start all over. And to get trees removed would be one price. So we'd have to call in people to remove the trees or do it ourselves. To get the well dug, it would be around, well, the whole thing between the well and the electric and all the electric that has to be run to it and building the little well house, it would be roughly about $13,000. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Yeah, so, you know, I checked my front pockets and my back pockets. Man, they just don't go that deep. I just do not have $13,000 for a well. So I knew right away I was going to have to go and buy my water for drinking, and that eventually I would be catching my water. So at first, the water catchment wasn't easy because y'all know I just got the cabin in September. So this September, next month, will make 1 year that we've been in the cabin. So trying to catch water off of the top of a 1989 camper that you see over there, that would have been so nasty. You know, it's like in the trees for one thing. I guess it could have been filtered out, but the water itself would have been so dirty. Like, am I gonna even want to use that for like washing clothes and stuff in? No, probably not. So I did do my own little water catchment. Y'all saw on the back of the Love Shack. My Wee Station combination library does have a slanted roof, and I used aluminum cans, cut them out, silicone them together, made myself a rain chain, put an igloo there, and anytime it does rain, I catch more than enough water for an outside hand washing station. So that was really convenient. But I needed a big scale water catchment system. And so that's what I got. When we finally were able to get the gutters, not only buy the gutters, but after we bought the gutters, they laid here forever, you know, because like I can't climb around on a ladder when I'm down here by myself. It's just not safe to do. And so I have to wait until people are here. Well, every time people are here, there's something else going on. So water just kept getting put in the, well, the gutters anyway, kept getting put on the back burner. Finally, the gutters got put up and the rain barrels got put into place. And last night we got, like I said, 1.5 inches of rain, and now I have 100 gallons of really clean water at my disposal. So now you see my, ta-da, my number 3 wash tub that has just kind of been retired for a while, because one thing, I didn't know how to go get water other than a few measly gallons at a time. Like the only thing I could do was get about 10 gallons at a time. And I had to buy that. And it was 39 cents a gallon, and it's reverse osmosis, and it's wonderful to drink. But they raised the price last year to 46 cents a gallon, which still isn't a big deal, but I was still spending like $20, $30 a month to go to town and haul all that out myself. So it's kind of a pain, but I do it. And the only reason why I had to buy all of that is because where I was getting my jugs filled for free at the pilot station, I went up there one day and they had a zip tie on the handle. No more free water. Dun, dun, dun. So that was, oh my goodness. And then you couple that with the drought. Yeah, so water was like very, you know, it was a very woeful subject for me for a long time. But now it's kind of turning around. So I not only put my number 3 wash tub here, but I'm setting myself up a clothes washing station right outside of the back of my cabin, and I've already put my clothesline over there and all of that. So I'm very, very thankful. And now I want to dedicate one whole bed of my garden. I want to expand my garden next year. One whole bed of my garden to grow soapwort, which y'all saw me work with last year, last year. And it has all those sapopins in it. And it's perfectly beautiful, like soap. It makes soapy water. It makes foamy water. So I can at least use that here on the land. And then even after I wash clothes or wash my hands or whatever, that water can go into the garden. It's not going to hurt anything because it's just plant water. Okay, so all that. Then I want to know, where can I start storing all of this? Because I'm catching, if I got 1.5 inches of rain and I caught 100 gallons of water, where in the world am I going to store all this? Because if it rains again tonight, this is nothing but an overflow. So we decided to get one of those tanks. Well, where do you buy the tank? Like, where do you buy it? So I asked everybody down here, where do you get the tank? Where do you get the tank? Nobody knew where to get the tank. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those big old round tank, the plastic, and then they come inside the wire cages. If you ever watch any videos on Slab City, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody has those tanks. So finally we found somebody down here, not too far away, who kind of specializes in those water tanks. And we have a little trailer. Sorry, you're gonna get blown around. We have a little trailer to set the tank on permanently, and now we can go and fill that tank up with water, or we can bring it, you know, right here and fill it up with our rainwater. So another thing I do want to say though is, if you don't have your water catchment in place, that where do you go? And if you want to just get one of those tanks and just have it filled up, that was another thing nobody could help me with. I literally asked for 3 years. I asked everybody I ran into, by the way, where do you have those big tanks filled at with water? And people would be like, oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Nobody could tell me where to go and get those tanks filled up. And I would see them down here. I'd see them on the back of farmers' trucks. And I literally used to think, if I flash my lights and pull this guy over and ask him where do you get his water, do you think he would think I was crazy? Well, down here you don't really want to pull people over like that. No, that wouldn't work out too well. I don't know if you want to do that anywhere. So I kept asking, like, where do you, if I do go get one of those tanks, where do you get it filled? And finally, like, somebody did tell me where to go, but when I went up there, it was like, it was another dun dun dun. There were spider webs on the building. Nobody used it anymore. So people kept suggesting that I go different places. And finally I went to a grocery store where an elderly man and his wife have lived in this area for years. And I knew if anybody knew anything in this county, they would know. Sure enough, I go in there and they said, oh yeah, go right up here to City Hall. And so I went to this little town, City Hall, and all you do is, hopefully you can hear me over this wind, all you do is pay your deposit. It's like $35 a year, and you have a minimum of 1,000 gallons a month that you can go get, and it's like $11.62 each time, and they just fill it up at the fire hydrant. Who knew? Like, I didn't know that. Oh, that's genius. Okay, so, and that $35 is like a one-time fee, I think. That's just like your deposit, and then they want to make sure that if they do all the work, like, you're going to show up and go get your water. So they have to call a dude, and he meets you at the fire hydrant, and he fills up your tank for you. So, and you don't have to get 1,000 gallons, but you do have to pay for 1,000 gallons up front, which is $11.62. Man, that worked out. So I can go up there and fill my tanks during a drought even. She said yes, even during a drought. And I also will have the backup water catchment of my very own. I've started putting 10 drops of chlorine bleach in each, and I don't have mosquitoes and I don't have algae, but then I'm going, I'm cycling through the water a lot. So as time goes by, if I do see a buildup of algae or if I see mosquitoes in there, I'll kind of increase my chlorine bleach by a drop or two until I get it right, till I get the formula right. But I also want to mention that, and I didn't know this because I've never done water catchment before. You see how my flex hose goes inside the screens? Well, first of all, you do need 2 screens. So this is just regular door screen, and you can put, like, it's, I forget what it is, 1/16 mil or something. You put one layer over it, and then you have to put a second layer over that, because skinny mosquitoes will still find their way into a single layer. So you do want to double up. What is that? Go away, flower, you're weird. So you do want to double up on your screen wire, and then you don't want to put your flex hose down in there, because mosquitoes and June bugs and moths will go in your gutters and go down your pipe and still find a way to get in there. So I'm really battling the wind. So we found that on the other side, it's just, this flex hose is just resting on top. Now I need to pull this flex hose out, patch my little hole here, put a 3rd layer over it, and then it'll be just fine. So that's it. I'm water happy, and I just wanted to bring you all up to date on this. I hope you all are having a glorious, amazing Wednesday, and I hope you all just are enjoying so much of this end of the season. Wonderful weather. At least we're getting wonderful weather. I hope you're getting that too. So much love and light, everybody. Blessed be.